Hi everyone, this is Emily from All Saints. We wanted to walk through our worship spaces so you have a feel of what it looks like before you come to Mass this weekend, if you choose to do so. So here you'll see that the door is propped open. You won't need to touch the door handle. The usher will be here making sure everyone has their mask on. You have to wear a mask to enter any worship space here. So we'll come on in. We ask that everyone sanitizes their hands. We have 2 different stations here to sanitize your hands. Then the ushers will also be helping us know where to sit. So you can see there are gold markings here. This means you can sit in this pew and you cannot sit in that pew. Every other pew you cannot sit in. We ask that you only sit on the ends of the pews and not in the middle. That means if someone's on the end and someone's on the other end, you cannot sit in the middle. Families and people who live in the same household can sit in the same pew, but if not, you need to go to the next available pew with the sticker. After you're seated, the next Mass will continue as normal, and communion, our procedure is a little different. The first people to receive communion will be the inside rows. So this row and this row will go first to communion. We'll have 2 ministers of the Eucharist. You'll come forward and sanitize your hands here. You can also see the markings of the tape on the floor. Those are 6 feet apart. So we ask that you keep distance as we move through the line. So this line will go, receive communion, step to the side, and pull down your mask so that you can receive, and then return your mask. Then you will walk all the way around and back up to your seat. The next group to go is going to be the person in the very far back of the outside pews. Then it will move forward. This row will move back to the church and then up the aisle to receive. So the person in this seat, this pew here, will be the last to receive, going all the way around and then back to their seat. When you exit church, the ushers are also going to help us know how to exit properly. The outside row will go first, then the inside pews here, then these inside pews, then the outside pews. We ask that you be very efficient in exiting and not congregate in church. We need to maintain 6 feet social distancing at all times. So you'll exit as quickly as you can and go to your cars and try not to congregate as much as we want to see and speak to people. We just want everyone to be as safe as possible.
When arriving at the Annex, you will come in the front door. There will be no accessibility down the side door. That means there is no handicap access to the Annex. Please come in and come down the stairs. There is hand sanitizer at the door if you need that as you arrive. Come down the stairs. Our seating should not be moved. It is set up for social distancing. There are groups of 2 or 3, and there are a couple rows of 4 and 5. As you are seated, please sit only in your households. If you are from a different household, do not sit in the same group. Only same households are going to be allowed to sit in these clusters. For receiving communion, we will have to go one side at a time, one row at a time, always keeping 6 feet apart. And we will go in a circle, much like we do normally at the church when we're not in these social distancing times. This row would start, come forward. This person would come over as well, keeping 6 feet apart at all times. Then the second row on this side and the third row. When there are gaps, please always make sure you are 6 feet apart as you come into the center and come down. These tape marks signify that you are 6 feet apart. They're in 6 feet gaps. So if you need to know how far 6 feet is as you come up for communion, there's your guidance. We'll do one side and then the other. As you come up for communion, you will come forward. You must sanitize your hands. You will come up. You will receive the body. You will step away. Then you will pull down your mask and consume the body. And then you will walk back around to your seat. And again, we will do one side and then the other. For exiting Mass, we will do the same process as we did with communion, starting with the front and coming back row by row, side by side. You must leave when it is your turn for your road to leave. There will be no lingering or having conversations in the worship space. Not only does this make it challenging to keep 6 feet apart, but we have to sanitize each worship location in between Masses. So for the Annex, this side will leave up the center aisle, out the door and up the steps. Each row will do that. And then the other aisle will leave, and each row will come up and leave right away. For the gym, come in the 2 double doors as you normally would. Again, the seats are to be permanently set up like this. Please do not move the chairs. They are set up for social distancing. As you can see, the bleachers are closed off from seating. They are spaced out in groups of 2 and 3. For communion in the gym, both sides will go at the same time, starting from the front, 1 row at a time. As you proceed into the middle, please maintain the 6 feet social distancing. We have on the floor tape to mark 6 feet apart for each person. As you come into the middle to receive communion, please sanitize your hands. As you come forward to the receive, you will walk forward, receive in the hand, step to the side, pull down your mask, and then consume the body. As we go through the space, please make sure to stay 6 feet apart for each row. This may mean you have to wait a little bit for the previous row to finish before you can go. Exiting the gym, we'll start with the same rows that we started communion in the front. You must leave immediately after the presider leaves. There will not be any congregating or conversations to be allowed in the worship spaces after Mass. This is to both help with social distancing and also to help us we have to clean each worship space after each Mass. Every chair that gets used has to be cleaned and disinfected.